Hi guys, welcome to Film Companion South. I am Vishal Menon, and in this episode of Now Binging, I'm going to be talking about Mitta, the stoner comedy mini-series that's out on ZEE5. Now this is a show that dropped early last year, but I could never get around to watching it then. The last couple of years were also a period where we saw two stoner films hit the screens, with the first one being Atharva's Semma Bodha Agade and of course Bharat's Simba, a ripoff of the Australian show Wilfred. When I watched both those disappointing films, I kept thinking of how the makers must have had to tone things down and deviate from the tropes of this specific subgenre because of the censors. I also felt like these movies could have really gone crazy had it been made specifically for the web space, where you can pretty much show or do anything. Which is why I decided to check out Mitta this past week, and honestly, it's a bit disappointing to see the show repeat the same mistakes the other two films made. For starters, the makers of these films should realize that there's no longer any novelty in making a film just because it's the first in Tamil to do so. Because most of the people who might have ended up watching these films or this show would probably have watched a stoner comedy before, so it isn't just enough if you're showing people smoke a lot or do a lot of drugs. In a way, these drugs are just incidental and they should ideally lead to a lot of crazy and interesting things. But over here, the drugs isn't just a part of the scene, it is the scene. So we get almost an entire episode which is about the various stages of a trip after the show's two leads take LSD. Later, we get another scene where two characters do a face-off to see who can smoke up more. And there's nothing more to it, bro. It is also a stoner show that is very basic in every sense of the word. Of course, the show looks trippy and it has a lot of trippy music by Dharan, but the ideas and the situations these effects are used for seem particularly ordinary. I mean, there's a lot of smoke, but where's the fire, bro? The plot is simple. A group of stoners drive from Chennai to Kodaikanal after they mistakenly sell a bag of weed to the wrong kind of guys. So not only do we get a stoner show, but it's also supposed to be a road trip. But sadly, the show barely scratches the surface of what you can really do within these genres, bro. Because the best thing about a stoner film is that it has no rules to follow. You can go ahead and do just about anything without worrying about things like logic or sense. In all honesty, the only thing you need to do is keep things engaging, which seems reasonably easy when you can push the envelope to any damn extent, bro. But Mitta is so obsessed with thinking that it's got all this look at me, I'm cool novelty going for it that it commits the biggest sin of all, that of dullness. Also, there's only so many times our filmmakers should be allowed to shoehorn the word bro into dialogues just because it comes across as hip and young. So that's it for this episode of Now Binging. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to Film Companion South.